Good day, students. Today we will going to learn simple probability. Now let's start. A weather forecaster says that there is a 70% chance of rain this afternoon. What does this mean? It means that the probability of rain is 70%. Probability is the chance that some event will happen. Now let's continue about learning how do we describe chances. We describe the chance of something happening using either words or numbers. An event having a probability of 0 is impossible and has no chance of success, while the probability of something happening that is certain to occur is 1. Suppose you select a letter at random from letters A to H. Find the probability that you will select a vowel. And don't forget to express your answer in percent or decimal. Now look at the letters above. As what you can see, there are two vowels, and that is the letter A and letter E. The probability of picking a vowel 2 is given below. We have probability of getting a vowel is 2 out of 8 letters. Or we can express our answer into lowest term. 2 over 8 could be expressed as 1/4. We can also express this 1/4 into decimal by dividing 1 divided by 4, and that is 0.25. Now, our answer here is in decimal. We can also express this one into percent. All we have to do is just to move our decimal point 2 places to the right and then add the percent symbol. Now, 0.25 in percent, that is 25%. So again, to find the probability of something, all you have to do is to divide the numerator to its denominator. We can also use the probability description to classify the chances of these events. We have unlikely to happen, likely to happen, or poor chances to happen. So let's start with, let us use these chances in some of the choices that we have below. We have here snow in the Philippines. Can we experience snow in the Philippines? The answer is no. So for this one, this is unlikely to happen because there is no chance that there will be a snow in the Philippines. How about strong winds during heavy rains? Which one do you think? Is it unlikely to happen, likely to happen, or poor chances to happen? Strong winds during heavy rains, this one is likely to happen. Very good. If your answer is likely to happen, then you are correct. So notice that during heavy rains, there are also strong winds. So in this instance, the answer for this one is likely to happen. How about rolling a 6 with a pair of dice? So how many chances do you will get 6 out of 2 dice that you're going to roll? So for this one, since we have 2 dice and in each dice is equivalent to 6 chances of getting the number 6. So for this one, the chances is very poor. Okay, so these are example of probability description, and we classify them according to the chances of the following events: unlikely to happen, likely to happen, and poor chances to happen. Now let's continue in calculation of probability. The probability that an event will happen is calculated by dividing the numbers of successful events by the total number of events. We have the formula of theoretical probability is equal to the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total number of possible outcomes. Now let us study the example below. Find the probability of getting ahead in tossing a coin. So we have here our solution. Let us focus into, we have letter A, find the number of ways of getting ahead, and letter B, the number of possibility. For letter A, find the number of ways of getting ahead. We have 1. Okay, because in a coin, we have only one head. And how about the number of possibilities that we were going to have? We have 2 possibilities. What are those 2 possibilities? We have getting head or getting a crown. Okay, so again, the number of ways of getting ahead is 1, and the number or the total possibilities that we have is only 2, the head and the crown. Now for this one, we have the probability of getting head as 1/2. 1, which is we have 1 head out of 2 chances. And if we're going to use our theoretical probability formula, we have number of favorable outcome divided by the total number of possibility for possible outcomes. So 1 divided by 2, we have 0.5. So it means to say that the chances of getting head is 0.5. Or if we're going to move or change this decimal into percent, we're just going to move our decimal point 2 places to the right and then affix the percent symbol. So the possibility of getting head is 50%. Now let us proceed to example number 2. List the probabilities of getting 1, 2, and 3 with a spinner given below. So we have here a table. So we have here the number, the probability, and of course the decimal. Now the probability of getting 1, we have 1 out of 8 total outcomes. So we have 1/8. And if we're going to express this one into decimal, we were going to divide 1 divided by 8, we get the answer of 0.125. How about for the probability of getting 2? So for number 2, we have, let's count, 1, 2, and 3. 3 out of 8 possible outcomes. So if we're going to divide 3 divided by 8, we get the answer of 0.375. Okay, how about for number 3? What is the probability of getting number 3? Let us count the number of 3 here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 out of 8. We can also express this one into lowest term. So 4/8 could be expressed as 1/2. And if we're going to divide 1/2, 1 divided by 2, we get the answer of 0.5. Okay, so for a total of 8/8, and for decimal, we have 1. Okay, now let's continue. The spinner shown below is equally likely to stop in any of the 8 regions. If it's spun once, find the probability of each outcomes. We have here number 1 question, the number 2. What is the probability of getting number 2? So what we can see, we have only 1, 2 out of 8. So 1/8. Let's divide 1 divided by 8. We have 0.25 or 25% of getting 2. For number 2, what is the probability of getting an odd number? So what we can see, how many odd numbers do we have here in total? So let us count the odd numbers. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have 4 odd numbers here. So 4 out of 8 total numbers. So 4 divided by 8, we have 0.5. How about for number 3 question? Not the number 7. So we're going to exclude number 7 here. So how many chances do we have now? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 out of 8 chances. So 7 divided by 8, we have an answer of 0.875. And for the last question, what is the probability of getting number 9? As what we can see, we don't have number 9 in our spinner. So it means to say we have 0 probability. Okay, so always remember that if we want to find the probability of something, just remember our theoretical probability, and that is equal to the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total number of possible outcomes. And don't forget to express your answer in decimal. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening, and see you tomorrow in our live session. Thank you and goodbye.